It has been a
Ah,
few.
yay! So now we're recording then.
I'm recording and you're recording.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, we're doing something a little bit different.
That's how I
Mike
roll.
is Mike is recording for his benefit also to make yes. So I don't cut it up at all. I just long form it. We just kind of it's very laid back.
Okay.
If you get my yeah. But yeah, you can chop it up and stuff and we can play around with some clips and stuff whatever comes up.
Like, so for example, every Friday I have open office hours for Stormio AI, and it's literally an hour, hour and a half, and I just upload that to the video editor, and then it just makes all these clips. And if I want to focus on something, I'm like, focus on this, focus on that, like find all the clips where there's laughter, something like that, and
Dude, that
then it'll just
blows
clip
my
it up.
mind. That blows my mind. Like I'm still in awe of what AI can do.
Man, you
So
don't.
that's why we're talking today because you are obviously an expert. or and well you have quite an interesting background because you're also in data security from what I remember, and you're a filmmaker.
Yep. Yep.
You've done both of them things. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So yeah, if you have a background in filmmaking, so what drew you to filmmaking initially, and do you still film anything today?
Well, so I'll answer in two parts, right? So what got me into it? Um, I think it was late 90s, early 2000, and I can't rem I think it was Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction was like came out, it was an independent film, and then I'm like, how much did it make to how much did it cost to make and how much did it make in the theater, and then it was like and then I started looking at other indie films, and so I started kind of getting into the industry, and because I like the way Pulp Fiction was done. It wasn't like act 1, act 2, act 3. It was kind of like act two, act three, act one kind of a thing. It wasn't like a traditional, and Tarantino kind of normally writes that way, most of the
Okay.
time that way. And there was a movie called, one of my favorite movies called Four Rooms. And it's New Year's Eve in a hotel, and what do you call it? The bellhop, the guy that's been there forever, is retiring,
Yeah.
and the new bellhop is starting, and it's Tim Roth. And so the cool thing about this movie is there's four rooms, and they're written and directed by different people.
Really?
And the last room is written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. And he kind of like weaves all the characters through everything. So you really have this one character, Tim Roth, in this one building, and all the stuff is going on at the same time. Like Madonna is in there, Bruce Willis, Antonio Banderas, like there's all of these star actors in there. Tim Roth, that's how I became a fan of Tim Roth, was literally this movie.
I can't believe I haven't seen this movie yet. That's a
Man,
little embarrassing.
everybody, I mean, it's from, I think it's probably like late 90s. Whenever anybody
Mhm.
asks, what movie should I watch? I always say Four Rooms.
Four rooms. Okay. And that's the one that inspired you to get into filmmaking?
Yeah, and then so I read this magazine, and it was talking about video editors.
Okay.
And it was talking about how this one editor, he stands at his desk when he's doing editing, because it's like movement. Like editing is like movement. It is The editor is the thing that makes the movie. Like in
Yeah.
post-production, you've got all these puzzle pieces that you have to put together, and the editor is the one that puts the puzzle together.
I get
And
that. I used to do that in high school. I'd edit video that I would capture of my friends skateboarding. So I kind of piece it together a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna be a video editor. That's what I got into filmmaking. I'm like, I'm gonna be an
Yeah.
editor. So I like got the computer. Like I've been building computers since I was 11 years old, right? So I built this computer, I got the software, I'm ready to go. Well, shoot, I don't have any footage to edit. So then
Dang.
I'm like,
Yeah. Now it's time to get a camera.
so then, yep, I ordered a camera and then I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I'm like, well, I got my two kids. I'll just make a video of my two kids and shoot, I mean they must have been like 4 or 5 at the time. And
Yeah.
because I have twins and I made this movie called Lightning where my son was like lightning fast.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I edited it together because I was all about the editing for me. And
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of came up with a little script kind of a thing and I just threw it together and I did this video edit and then I put it to man, what's the name of the group? I think it was Indie Club or something like that back then. And it was and I wanted people to critique it and tell me. And they're like, "Ah, this is 9 minutes. It's too long. You have this and that." So they're just giving me all this feedback of such valuable feedback. And that's one of the
Okay.
things, like even today, I love constructive criticisms. Even now that I do marketing and I do, people are like, "Oh, tell me what's wrong with my website. Why aren't my ads working?" or something like that. I'm like, do you mind some constructive criticism? And I'll just turn on my Loom video and just go through the website and tell them how to, what's wrong with it. Because for me, it was as a filmmaker, like that was invaluable because I didn't know what was wrong. It was the first time
Mm-hmm.
ever editing anything, and I didn't know what was wrong. And when they gave me all this feedback, I'm like, wow. And then I started writing scripts. Um, I I ended up my family and we went on vacation to Tampa, and I got into the indie film scene. I'm writing scripts. I'm doing joining like a 30-day challenge, 48-hour challenge. I'm writing scripts. I still have a bunch of scripts actually that I never produced.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I was in Tampa, Florida, and a friend of mine was in Fort Lauderdale, and this was like an indie club uh what do you call it? Challenge. And it was to make like a horror movie. And my friend in Fort Lauderdale is a master prop maker. Like she can make
Really?
something. I mean, she makes weapons, she makes uh all this stuff. Like her Jeep totally looks like it's a film truck basically. It's got this big old boom arm on there. She's a mechanical engineer and her name is Liza Trainer. She's
Oh,
absolutely
wow. Okay.
amazing. And she's like, "Well, why don't you come over here because you're just in Tampa, you're just over the Everglades. I'll send a plane to pick you up." And so I get in
Nice.
this her because she works at as an executive airport as a mechanical engineer. And so her friend, she's like, "Hey, Monty, go pick him up in Tampa and bring him over here." So I spent the weekend. I didn't, and I wrote this script. I wrote the script, and I'm like, "Well, shoot, we need crew. Like, we need actors. We need like crew and stuff like that." So I put an ad up on Craigslist. This was, I actually just saw it was 2004 or five, I think, when this happened. Because I just literally
Okay.
saw some of the emails yesterday. I was looking for something, and yeah, we shot that. There was a lady who's a veterinarian. She's like, I want to try acting. So she was like one of the lead actors, and she kind of yeah, like is like zombie makeup, right? And it's like,
Right.
well, you just kind of put the zombie makeup on, then you put toilet paper on there and you cover the toilet paper, and then now it looks like skin is folding off. Like simple stuff like that, it just has to look good. It doesn't have to be that.
I
It
never
just
thought
has
of using toilet paper.
yeah. Yeah, I
No
mean, just
kidding.
imagine you put a little bit of I mean, a lot of times what people do is they just put like glue, like
Yeah.
Elmer's glue, and then they kind of peel it off. No, man, if you get like toilet paper and then rip it and then you color it, it'll absorb the like the blood color and stuff like that.
Oh, no
It's
kidding.
great. Toilet paper works great.
No kidding.
And
I
so
did.
that veterinarian, she had her own practice and everything like that. She had that picture that we took of her in the zombie makeup. That was like her profile picture on Facebook for the longest time.
That's awesome.
And
That is so cool.
so we shot all this stuff and the next weekend, or no, I think it was like a Tuesday, and I had to fly back to Illinois, and that also happened to be when Hurricane Wilma hit Florida, and it literally ripped two two of the walls of the studio, totally ripped them off. They're like gone. And so her studio was up on the second floor of a supermarket. It was like there's the roof, and then on top of the roof was like this big old thing. And so there was all these looters that were like there's a liquor store across the street, and then the grocery store right below her. So all these looters were coming in because of the hurricane. And
Oh, wow.
what did she have? A ton of prop guns. So she had her friends come over, and they were just walking the perimeter of like the roof with these massive like prop guns. Like you try to come
That's
up here, you're gonna
genius.
get it.
So don't come near our compound.
Yeah, it was so we weren't actually able to we weren't able to release that, but I actually I a friend of mine who actually is in town right now. Um he was in Iraq, the Iraq War. He was in Iraq before the Green Zone was all palaces and swimming pools. He was the one that cleared all that stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
he came back for his 14-day R&R, and I'm like, I want to interview you. So I interviewed him for like about 4 hours. I had 4 hours of footage, and I was going
Wow.
to put this into like the 5 minute film festival. And and as an editor, that was the absolute most hardest thing because, I have all this footage, and then
Hmm.
post-production is so much. Like normally it only takes about 20 days to all the actors and everything, they all get together for 20 days and then all of that's done. And then it's like a year and a half to do all the editing. Like
Right.
that's post-production is like where the movie's literally made.
Hmm.
And so then when I'm going through all of this video, you're listening to it over and over and over again. And so I have to start editing down the stuff. I have to cut out a whole bunch of stuff. And I got down to a very tight 11 minutes. And I'm like, what's in this 11 minutes needs to be told. This is what needs to be told. But it's a 5 minute film festival. So then I'm like, it was really hard to cut out a few more things and just get it down to such a tight 5 minutes
Right.
that and I won some film festivals. I got some awards at some film festivals with it.
Dude, that's
It
awesome.
was a mini documentary. And this was back in MySpace. This was before YouTube, right?
Oh,
So
yeah. I
this
remember
was
MySpace days.
this was back in MySpace, and MySpace liked it so much. MySpace used to have a weekly newsletter it would send to all of its 20 million users. My little 5 minute mini documentary was emailed to like 20 million people.
Wow. That is so cool. So what?
So so now the second part of your question,
Okay,
am I still doing filmmaking? Kind of,
kind of.
because I still have to have that. I still have that creative thing. I still get ideas for like uh movies and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I kind of just kind of write the script or take the idea and kind of write it. And I mean, I have a number of different projects that I could talk about, but what I do
Oh, for
now
sure.
as a digital marketer, it's
Hmm.
all about now I make the ads. Now I make, I'm still doing that creative stuff. I'm still
Right.
I'm teaching people how to do like an online webinar, right? So I'm scripting out this
Hmm.
whole webinar for people because they've never done it before. And then I actually do the webinar the way I want them to present the webinar, that sort of thing. So I'm still kind of using those skills that I learned
Yeah,
right now.
that makes sense. So you're using in the financial world now. You're using the talents that you're carrying over from the filmmaking in order to promote yourself.
Yeah, so I
That's
mean,
genius.
so I have a digital marketing agency.
Yeah.
I have a software as a service, Stormio AI, and then yes, I am also a financial professional, right? So the stuff that I
Yeah.
do with my marketing, the stuff that I do with the system that I have, Stormio AI, and well, that all helps pretty much any business, any of my clients, but me as a financial professional, yes,
Hmm.
it helps me. So like I made in 2008, I released a book. A friend of mine and I released a book called The Social Media Formula.
Oh,
And
okay.
so the formula is literally the same. And it's the same. Like it's you have to be social. Social media marketing. Social is the
Yeah.
first word and it has to be social. And then it's all about the media, and marketing is last. So,
Hmm.
when you walk into a social environment, a birthday party, a a bar, whatever, you're not just going to be like, "Hey, everybody, come buy my stuff." It's a social environment. You need to be
Yeah.
social with people.
They need to get to know you too,
Yeah.
which is yeah, I love that. I love that. So how did you get from filmmaking to finance? Because I know in between there, you're doing some data security, and I want to hear about that too, because I know you have some wild stories about that.
Well,
So,
man,
so what do people misunderstand about data security, especially when it comes to their finances?
ooh, man. So I was an IT security auditor. And so basically I used to hack banks. Banks would pay me to hack them because they were going to get audited. And so I was
That's
always like
awesome.
internal audit. Like the banks didn't
Yeah.
have an internal audit team most of the time. Some of the bigger banks
Mm-hmm.
did, but then we were helping them do their internal audit. So, but yeah, I used to hack banks. And the thing that people don't really understand about security is it's very hard to hack a bank. It's very hard to hack your phone. It's very hard to hack your computer. Like me on
Mm-hmm.
my computer, trying to get into your computer is very, very hard. What's very easy is for me to just call you up and ask you what your username and password is.
Right.
Because, there's as an auditor, that's what I used to do. I used to validate their policies and procedures, basically. So their
Mm-hmm.
policy says you will not give out your password. You will not give out your username and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, I guess I better test that. So
Right.
I called. I've many many times. Maybe I'm good at it, or maybe people's policies aren't very good. I don't know, but there's there was like um, it was a trading company, so they traded billions of dollars a day in like futures and commodities and stuff like that. And um so whenever I would do like social engineering,
Uh-huh.
um, social engineering gig, they just literally tell me the name of the business and where they're located. That's it. Do your job. And so then I'm like, okay, I need to act as an actual hacker. So, I go online, I see like, okay, I see some of the IT people in some forums asking questions. So now I know that their email address is first initial last name at whatever. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a little something for my tool belt. I know that because they're a trading company, they've got an office in every time zone, Eastern, what do you call it? Central,
Central Mountain
Mountain,
Time.
and Pacific.
Yeah.
So, and my whole goal was to just call people up and ask for their username and password and their IP address. So there was a thing called spoof card,
Mm-hmm.
and I just basically you call up this number and it's like, what number do you want to call from? And I'm like, I type in the number to their 1-800 toll-free number from their home office, and I'm calling their support desk basically.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what number do you want to call? And then I put in the call. So then it's like, hello, thank you for calling. And I'm like, hey, yeah, this is Bob. I'm calling from the home office here up in Chicago. Are your computers running slow? Well, if you ask that to anybody, everybody always says yes,
Oh yeah.
right?
That's like an opinion.
Yeah. So then they would say, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, it is running slow. I'm like, well, I can see that you are connected to us here, but for some reason we can't see you. Like, so I need to connect to everybody one by one. So all I need is just your username and password and your IP address. Okay, cool. Here's my username. Here's my password, but I don't know how to do an IP address. No problem. I'll just walk you through it. And then I tell them how to do it, and then bam. Okay, thanks. And then I just call the next person, and I call the next person, and I call the next person. Like I
Just keep going.
out of the 13 people I called, everybody gave me I hung up on the third person, the 13th person, because it ended up being the CFO. But
Oh,
but everybody gave me their username and password. So when it comes to like data security and like just the security of your stuff, it's people talking to you. And you
mhm.
get I mean you get people calling, these scammers that are calling. It's like, "Hey, do you have we're getting errors on your computer. We need you to log into the event viewer and see if you can see the errors." Well, on a Windows machine, the event viewer always has stuff in there because
Yeah.
it's literally telling you you turn on your computer, it turns on the light, it turns on the hard drive, it turns on the monitor. All of those
Right.
events that happen in your computer show up in the event viewer. But 99.999% of the people don't know that. So when this
Right.
hacker is calling them or the scammer is calling them and they're like, yeah, check out the event viewer. This is how you do it. And they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, you see all of this stuff. And then they see all of this stuff, but they don't know what it is. Then they're like,
Hmm.
yeah, we need to take control of your computer. So go to this URL. And then as soon as they go to that URL, now they have remote control of their computer. And that's how that scam happens. So Windows is not
Wow.
going to call you.
Yeah.
Windows is not going to call you. And there is no company called Windows. It's Microsoft. But the people in
Yep.
India don't really understand that. So they always say, we're calling from Windows.
Wow. I hope nobody catches on to that from India and starts correcting themselves. But
I mean,
so
I mean, I don't,
quick.
I guess I don't want to say India. It just happens to be that I mean, a large majority of, well, let's just say I've never seen or experienced a scam that was not from India. Unless it's an email
Really?
from a Nigerian prince.
Yes, that's the famous one. So, what's one habit you think everybody should adopt to protect themselves from things like this?
To be honest,
Yeah,
you need to change your passwords because there
done.
are data breaches that happen almost all the time, weekly, right? So if you're using the same email address and the same password everywhere, and one of those places has a data breach, like let's say some piece of software that you got a long time ago, all of a sudden has a data breach, and you're still using that same email and that same password, and you use that same email and password for Facebook.
Yeah.
All right, they get your username and password from that data breach, and
Mm-hmm.
then now they just try to log into all these other things with that same username and password, and sometimes they get in. So change your passwords. So I'm on a PC and I
Mm-hmm.
use Chrome as my main browser, and I have a Chrome extension called LastPass. And with
Okay.
LastPass, it stores all your passwords. But LastPass also tells you this place was data breach. Your password is at risk. So it keeps track of all your passwords, and it, it so you don't even have to know what your password is. You just need to remember one
Yeah.
password. Your last password is the one password, it's the master password to get into LastPass,
Mm-hmm.
and you use that nowhere else. You use that absolutely nowhere else. You use only that one password on LastPass because they can, I mean, I can pull up my email right now and I know that my email has been in hundreds of breaches. There was just I mean, Experian had a breach. This is like a credit monitoring company. They had a data breach
Man,
with tens of millions of people data released, including social security numbers.
dude, that's insane to think about.
Yeah.
So now you're moving into financial the financial industry, or where you've been in it for a while. So
Yeah.
is there an overlap between cybersecurity awareness and financial literacy? And seeing as you were paid to go after banks, basically. So I'm assuming there's some inspiration there to get into both industries. So
Well,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, from when I was in like an IT security auditor, I also had on the side, I had my marketing business kind of helping out small businesses and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I got into, finance, this was at the beginning of 2024, so about a year and a half ago, I guess. And, a friend of mine actually said, "Hey man, is what your or no, he's like, "Hey man, what are your goals?" Because I had just moved from I just gotten married. I
Mm-hmm.
I I was with her for about 4 or 5 years. We moved to Texas, and then like about 4 months later, we just went our separate ways. So
Okay.
I went to California, she went back to Illinois, and so it was like this obviously a hard time in my life, right?
Yeah.
So my friend asked me, he's like, "Hey man, so what are your goals?" And at the time I'm like, I don't know, all my goals are gone because they were with her. So my whiteboard was clean. I need to figure out my new goals. And he
Mm.
was like, "Well, maybe you might want to join me in financial services." And I'm like, "Okay, let me take a look at this and see what it is." And it's like I see the future. I could see the future of me and my family, like my kids and grandkids, in financial services, right? So this is,
Okay.
I could see my friends and I like doing business together and like growing together and traveling together. Like that is like the vision for like the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
So that's financial services because so many people they don't know about it. They are
Hmm.
not educated when it comes to just basic financial literacy. Like we are not taught this in school. We are
Right.
not taught this. I even had a financial advisor when I worked for a .com that ended up getting bought by United.com. So yes, I worked on the United Airlines website and stuff.
Okay.
Um, Even my financial advisor that I got 20 something years ago didn't even educate me on something simple like the rule of 72.
Right.
Something simple about the three rules of money and all this stuff. Simple
Hmm.
stuff like that. And here I am like 20 years with this guy and like I didn't get the education from him. And so every
Right.
time I do our presentation where we do talk
Hmm.
about the three rules of money and we do talk about the rule of 72, the one thing that I get from everybody, whether they decide to work with me or not, is thank you so much for that information. I did not know
Right.
that. You know?
Dude, I definitely didn't before we started working together.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I had a very similar experience. I had one financial advisor at my last job, and it was through a credit union that I think that they were partnered with. Yeah, didn't
Hmm.
tell me any of that stuff. And in fact, like some of the stuff that we now know that they do advise people to do when working with big banks. That's kind of like where they were going with it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's a common financial mistake that you see people make that's like totally avoidable?
Man, they wait.
Yeah.
They wait too long.
Oh, I feel that.
They should do it like right now. And the other thing you know, so I also was into cryptocurrency. I made
Hmm.
some different miners, uh, you know, cryptocurrency mining systems and stuff like that. And um, so people know me as kind of like in crypto. I would kind of teach people about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so Bitcoin's in the news right now because it's like 120,000 for one Bitcoin. Well, so people are like, "Hey man, how do I get into Bitcoin? What do I need to know?" What you need to know is buy low and sell high. You don't
It's
get
probably
in
not the time to
when it's
buy
at the
right now
top
because
of the
everybody's
market.
talking about it.
Yeah. You
No,
buy
I
low.
get that. Everybody wants it right now because everybody's talking about it. It's trending.
Yeah. Buy low and sell high. Like when I got into cryptocurrency, Bitcoin wasn't even $1,000.
Mm,
Like
dang. So you got in early
yeah.
or
Uh
earlier. What
and
did it start off as?
shoot,
Well,
it was
probably
like
nothing, but yeah.
well, so Bitcoin started in I think it was 2008. So and it was
Hmm.
just like not even a dollar for like the longest time and then it started picking up
Oh my
speed. People
gosh.
started using blockchain technology, blockchain started to get more and more and then people started making other projects like
Hmm.
Ethereum and stuff like that and then it just started to becoming more and more popular and and then it just kept growing.
Why
So,
did why did crypto have such a bad rep for a while? Because I think it was specifically NFTs and high energy prices. I think with Ethereum too, they were going to solve that, but I haven't looked into it in a while.
well, the cool thing about Ethereum is it's a digital contract. So people just
Hmm.
me, I got into crypto because I'm taking my money out of our banking system, which is fiat money. It's not backed by anything.
Yeah.
Like
Just in
the
case anybody didn't know that, it's just the value of money is based on the belief that it's valuable.
yeah, yeah. So if you take $100 and you stick it under your mattress, it's not going to be worth $100 when you take it back out. It's not going to be worth the same
Right.
because inflation. And
Mm-hmm.
I just was on a training on Wednesday, and it's like I don't have my notes here, but it was like in 5 years, that $100 is going to be worth $86.
Yeah.
So if you don't continue to grow your money at, you have to grow your money. Like you can't put it in a savings account. You can't put it under your mattress.
Yeah. Everybody
Um,
look at the rate of interest that your savings account grows and
right.
then look at the rule of 72, figure that out.
It needs to be at least 3% to stay even, you
Mm-hmm.
know? That's assuming
Just
that
as the rate of inflation.
that's
Yeah.
assuming that inflation is actually 3%. So,
Right. That's probably just an average over a certain amount of time,
yeah.
because it jumps and it dives, and every 5 years something crazy happens that throws everything for a loop. We
Yeah.
talked about that a couple of times.
Well, so to get back to like cryptocurrency and NFTs. Like I got into cryptocurrency
Mm-hmm.
to take my money out of fiat and put it into blockchain. And I'm investing in these different blockchain companies. I'm not looking at it as like, oh, I'm going to make money and then take the money out it back into fiat. I'm gonna
Right.
spend Bitcoin, I'm gonna spend Ethereum or any of the other stuff. The money I put in there, I'll trade within there, but I'm keeping it in there.
Right.
And so I think we kind of went off on a tangent. I'm trying to remember your question, but I think you said NFTs. And I was talking
Oh
about
yeah.
I
Like
was talking about
what
Ethereum.
was the whole controversy? They're very controversial for a while. I know I even uttered the word NF or whatever NFT, non-fungible token. I'll start talking about it on Twitter. I remember I just got swarmed by anti NFT people. Just like,
I,
don't do it, it's a scam.
I mean, well, so number one, most of the people that are saying it's a scam have no idea what it even is.
Yeah,
They
I've
watch the
noticed.
news and they hear about it, but they're not they're not in the arena and they don't actually know what they're talking about, right?
Right,
They're
right.
not invested. They're just an onlooker. They're
Probably more or less, a lot of them are just virtue signalers that are just trying to
yeah.
um need the algorithm of Twitter to get more views because for whatever reason, um flame wars get a lot of attention.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just it's talking to talk, and it's also saying, hey, look at me, I'm anti NFT, that means I'm with the good crowd. Like, you know what I mean? And then they get a bunch of followers and stuff. Oh yeah, I totally agree with this guy. Like,
I
and
mean,
nobody, and it's just it is go what goes viral is misinformation.
yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to like an NFT, if you're putting money into an NFT to make money, you're
Mm-hmm.
not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah. You know,
Like,
it's kind of messed up. Going back to NFTs, and now today the controversy is AI generated art. That's what everybody's like up in arms about, which is funny, is because I saw that coming, and I was like, if you guys are all afraid of stealing art, NFTs seem to be the solution for that, because
exactly.
it's literally a digital signature that proves where it came from, who's owned it. Like, it's got a whole like it traces like the entire history of that digital asset. And now it's like everybody's worried about their art. Well, it's like 5 years ago, you guys were bashing the solution for fucking followers.
Yeah. Literally, like if
Yeah.
if I make this thing or I have AI make this thing and it's like this is one, this is it. This is the one thing. Well, somebody can buy that one thing and we can track it on the blockchain like this non-fungible token. Like this is yours. Nobody else can own this, and we can prove that it's yours. And if you sell it, then we can also trade that, I'm the maker,
Yeah.
you're the buyer, you sold it to this person. We can literally track all of that in the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Because a blockchain is a ledger of everything that happened. And that's one of the things with like Ethereum. People are buying houses with Ethereum, right? It's like I will sell
That's
this house
so
for
insane.
whatever, like let's just say 10,000 Ethereum. I'm going to sell this house
Mm-hmm.
for 10,000 Ethereum. And so somebody is like, okay, well, I'll put 5,000 in there. I'll put two in there, whatever. And then when it gets to that amount, that house, an actual real physical address, the
Yeah.
contract is in, the contract is in, the deed is in, and then now when it meets that, it automatically now all those people own whatever amount they own of that
Mm-hmm.
house.
Yeah. It's that house is the asset that is attached to the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about what if like voiceover contracts were like that, or I
Mm.
don't know. I've thought of like some all kinds of ideas because there's I looked into NFTs for a while and I was like, this could solve so much stuff, and I was also into asset management at the time. And it's like what an NFT basically can be is an asset tag. You can attach it to a physical object that is traded on the market. And
Yeah.
it's just whoever owns, yeah, you own the asset tag, but it's attached to the thing that you actually bought.
Like, I mean, think about buy this NFT. With
Mm-hmm.
this NFT, you're going to get this thing, this thing, this thing. And by the way, we're going to be doing these once a year event over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
You get a ticket to each one of those events. People are paying $1,000 or fifteen
Yeah.
hundred dollars to go to each one of these events. So you get three tickets. And so now you have your NFT.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the event year one. It's like, well, now you can sell it, and whoever buys it has a
All
ticket
those
to the next
perks.
two events
Right.
because it's still literally the contract is in there and they can
Mm-hmm.
check this. Okay, Josh got used it last year. There's 2 years available, so now you can, like
Right.
doing. But that's the right way to do NFTs. The
Mm-hmm.
the things that I mean, people like they make a series of whatever emus or whatever, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then they sell a bunch, and then they just do like a carpet pull and just take all the money out, and it's you have I if you're gonna be an investor. And this is not
Mm-hmm.
investment advice because I have to say that this is not investment
Yeah. Yeah,
advice.
for
As
sure.
a financial professional, I can't give investment advice, um, publicly, I guess.
Right.
And not to mention, I'm not a financial advisor. I
Right.
don't have my series and all that kind of stuff. So I can't really, give a financial advice unless you're a client and that sort of thing.
Right.
But so that's
Entertainment
why I'm
purposes
like,
only.
buy low, sell high, but don't put your money into something that you know nothing about. Like
Yes.
when I invest in different crypto companies, I do my research. Like I'm not just
Mm-hmm.
throwing like, oh, Dogecoin's gonna go up 2 cents. I'm gonna quadruple my money. I
Right.
don't get
That's
it. I
thinking
don't do
like
it for
a
that.
that's a short-sighted plan is looking for the sellout, or yeah, looking to sell it out for that fiat currency back probably.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still
Yeah.
thinking in fiat and not thinking in growing the technology. I mean, when it comes down to it,
I love the way you phrase that.
when it comes down to it, you know, if you do anything based on greed, it will
Hmm.
fail.
Yeah.
And I have seen that there is a video marketing, a video company that is being released right now. A friend of mine told me about it. I checked it out. I'm like, they're gonna be out of business within 18 months. They're going to be out of business. I've
Oh
seen it
wow.
before. You know, it's a paid version of YouTube. You know, it's a YouTube like video thing. Everyone's got to pay a monthly fee to join. And but if you refer somebody, you get some of that money. So it's all a money grab. It's a money grab, but with this video system background. And it's like,
Wow.
well, why would I do any of that when I can send people to my own company, to my
Hmm.
own videos in my own community that I can have on Go Collab or Stormio or
Hmm.
even just on YouTube? Like, why do my visitors have to pay 30 something dollars to watch my content and I only get 12% of that? Because everybody else is getting, you know what I mean?
Who's
It's
that
just really a
for?
money grab.
Like who is that for? I
It's literally for the
I
people that created it because I don't see, I've seen, I've been around the social media landscape for
Mhm.
a long time, since before MySpace. In fact, I own socialmedialandscape.com. So I
Nice
own the
flex.
social media landscape. Um,
Oh
but
yeah.
I've seen places try to do this before,
Hmm.
and they always go out between about eight, within 8 months to about 18 months, they're out because it's all just a money grab. They're trying to get all
Yeah.
these people in. They're very good salespeople, and so then they get people in because they're selling getting other people in. You know, they're not
Yeah.
selling the actual platform. They're selling you can make money if you refer other people, and eventually there's not enough people, and then it just
Right.
dries up.
Ah. Well,
So,
that
yeah,
sucks.
I predict 18 months. And I told my friend, if you paid, you better stop paying. But hey,
Yeah.
that's up to him. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going to
get
say
you.
he's not going to make money. He knows a lot of people, so he could probably get a lot of people in. But if he's only getting them in to make money, that's not the right, at least that's not how I do things.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and so with financial services, for example, like we have a crusade, and while
Hmm.
anybody can join the company. Not everybody can join our team. We
Yeah.
have we have morals and we have standards for our team that is very honest and ethical and that sort of thing. And if like our our kind of policy is like no family left behind, mission
Hmm.
before commission. You know, like
Yeah.
if I put um one of the things that I'm very excited about is helping people do like the Rockefeller method, where you have like life insurance policies, like you have life insurance policies and a family trust, and the
Hmm.
trust owns the policies. And if somebody passes, that goes into the trust. And then so everybody in the family gets a policy when they're like about 6 months old, or as soon as I think it's 16 days old, you can put a policy on somebody. And then
Okay.
so the trust pays for that policy. And so nobody in that whole family will ever need to borrow any money from a bank ever because you have a family bank. So I love building that kind of stuff, but that's a bigger deal, right? S-
Yeah.
People should like, for example, if I put an let's just say an uncapped index universal life policy on a child. Let's just say, so a friend of mine's
Hmm.
grandson, 5 years old, right? My commission on that is like nothing.
Yeah.
But that kid, by the time he's 18, is going to have enough money in there that he can just buy a car cash. He can borrow the money he doesn't have to borrow money from a bank. He borrows money from his policy to pay cash for that car. And then now he can choose to pay back the insurance policy or not. And the insurance policy, you're not
Really?
taking the money out of the policy, you took a loan. And so the money that you take out, you don't pay tax on loans. So the money goes in, he borrows the money from the what do you call it? Again, this is not financial advice, but you take the
Right.
money, you borrow the money, so that's tax-free money that he's
Hmm.
using to buy a car. And now he doesn't have a car payment. He can choose to pay back the family bank or his policy with a little bit of interest. But when it comes down to it, he doesn't have to because at the end of his life, whenever that is, the death
Hmm.
benefit of that insurance policy will pay that outstanding loan.
Interesting.
So, me, somebody that's 5 years old, that let's say that they're paying $100 a month, $200 a month, I'm trying to increase the cash value of that policy.
Hmm.
And when I get paid on the life insurance side, so the life insurance side of that policy is normally low. Let's just say it's I don't know, let's just say it's a 250,000 because you get a lot of different benefits at 250,000. So let's say it's 250,000. Well, I want them to have the highest cash value available. So I do the lowest, what do you call it? The lowest life insurance to reach that cash. And my
Okay.
my commission from the life insurance company is only on the life insurance premium, which is very small as opposed to
Right.
like the big cash value. So they're putting
Okay.
they're they're putting more money into it, and that's growing in an
Hmm.
uncapped market, but it's safe from being invested in the market because it's all index funds. Because if it was in the market, that would be securities.
Right.
So I'm
Okay.
outside of the market. So when the market goes down below zero, 13% below zero, 20% below zero, or like whatever it was, almost 50% in 2008,
Mm.
that's where I lost half of my money and mine.
Yeah.
Um, that
So,
is, so those policies never go below zero. So it's only going
wow.
to grow. It's only going to grow.
So in 2008, what was the what policy was that, or was that like a traditional 401k?
Yeah, so I had at that time, I had a financial advisor, and financial advisors, they put stuff into the market, so you're at risk. You're
Hmm.
you're at risk, so you're
Right.
riding with the market. You're going the ups and downs, and so it wasn't a 401k because it was rolled out, so it was in. I can't remember exactly what the product was then, but I know
Okay.
that I lost half in fact, the 529 plans that I had for my kids lost half. The thing is when the
Wow.
market goes down, let's say the market goes down 50%.
Hmm.
Well, you don't need 50% to go back up to zero. You need 100% gain to get back to zero.
Right.
So a lot of people don't realize that because then the market goes up 20%, and then the market goes up, you know,
Right. You got
5%,
to
goes up
catch back up.
18%. It takes years to get back to zero. Meanwhile, your whole, like let's say you have $100,000 in there.
Hmm.
Now you have 50,000 because the market just dumped by half, and it's going to take a long time to get back to 100,000. Where
Yeah.
if you were in like something that we do, like an IUL, Index Universal Life,
Mm-hmm.
that 50% down, we don't participate in that. Our floor is like 0.75%. So it'll
Yeah.
stop. Everybody else that's in the market is down here, lost all this money.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't lose any money.
Right.
You just, when it goes back up, it goes up. When it goes back down, it just stays there. So I've always thought about,
That's
oh,
my
do I want
favorite
to get
part
my
about it
secure?
too.
What was that?
So that's one of my favorite parts about it too.
Yeah. I was like, while I do think that I should have somebody on my team that has a securities license,
Mm-hmm.
because there are people that do want to put the risk in the market. Um, I, when you have an investment portfolio, a retirement portfolio, you should be putting money in everything, like an
Right.
HSA, Roth IRA, and stuff like that. But you're limited to all of those different things,
Mm-hmm.
and you also can't borrow from it without penalty and that sort of thing.
Right.
So that's why having a well-round, like that's why I want to have like a well-rounded team. Like I do want to have
Yeah.
somebody on securities on my team to be able to, you know, I want to buy Nvidia stock, something like that. I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk to them. They can set you up with that, like a brokerage account or something like that. But for
Okay.
me, it's risk, and there's a lot of people that are very risk averse. And
Right.
the thing is now you get all these benefits without the risk.
Yeah.
Like
I
an
like that.
IUL used to be capped. It used to be capped at 12 to 13%,
Mm-hmm.
but now we have uncapped options. And
Interesting.
I've had people come to me like, "Oh yeah, I want an IUL." Well, an IUL, like I need to understand your whole, like I'm not an order taker. I
Right.
need to understand your whole financial thing because maybe an
Yeah.
IUL isn't right for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That is one important thing about um putting together a policy is we need to get to know somebody because yeah, it's not somebody you can't just take requests because you can't yeah, there's too many ways that you can it's a you can take advantage of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So yeah, and there's a lot of fraud in that market. So yeah, having a conversation with somebody is super important.
yeah. I mean, there's I like the base thing that I think people should have is
Mm-hmm.
I was just at our annual conference of champions in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago,
Oh,
and
nice.
one of the things that somebody said there is every GoFundMe for like somebody that passes away or somebody that has a critical illness,
I
terminal
see that
illness,
a
something like
lot.
that. Every one of those GoFundMe is somebody we failed because we can help those people.
Ouch.
We
Yeah.
can help those people. Everybody thinks like life insurance is about death, and it's not because my policy has living benefits. I,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually hit by a
Same.
car walking across the street, right? And when I was hit by that car, I did not have any sort of life insurance. I mean, I had sold my car. I was just walking. I didn't even have car insurance. And
Right.
they don't have pedestrian insurance, right? So,
Right.
and
I think that's
also the
just health
kid that hit
insurance.
me did not have insurance.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was like, thank God, even though he hit me and I flew 12 feet and stuff like that, like thank God I was not um it could have been a lot worse. Let's just put it that way. It could
Yeah.
have been way worse. But now I have this life insurance policy with living benefits. You have a
Mm-hmm.
critical illness. We'll just give you some of the money or almost all the money, right?
Yeah,
Um,
depending on the severity of the illness.
yeah, you have you know, there's living benefits with some of these policies, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the biggest things about being in being in insurance, being in financial services is, or actually, it doesn't even have to be that, right? One of the biggest things in the world, period, is protecting your paycheck. If
Oh
you,
yeah.
so I was hit by a car, like I still had to go to work the next day,
Yeah.
right? Like
Your
I
money
needed,
would stop.
yeah, the money would stop. So
Mm-hmm.
so just imagine you getting hit by a car. You're going to take like 3, 4 months of recovery, 5 months of recovery, whatever. Well, your paycheck is gone. Unless, wouldn't it be awesome if you can get like like, you know what? Your policy is a $250,000 policy. Let's give you 50K right now and just focus on healing. You don't have to worry about, you don't need to stress because stress causes a lot of health issues. It doesn't allow you to heal like you should. So now you don't
Right.
have the stress of needing to get of how am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to buy food? How am I going to keep the hot water on? How am I going to keep the electricity on? Like, whether you're just single or you have a family, like
Mm-hmm.
paycheck protection is is one of the things, like when I say,
I think it's
is your
like the
family
most
properly
important thing, wouldn't
protected?
it be?
Yeah. Like when I say, is your family properly protected? It's that. Is
Yeah.
your paycheck protected? Is your
Mm-hmm.
spouse's paycheck protected? And if something happened where you weren't able to work, can you still pay the bills?
Yeah.
And I would say it's a massively large amount of people. The answer to that is no. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why is they're just not educated enough.
Yeah. They
They're
probably
just,
think it's all about death.
yeah. And I mean, and so for example, there's some people, sorry, I'm pouring my coffee into my ice so I make some iced coffee.
Nice. You're awesome. That's awesome.
You're drinking a Miller
It's a
Lite
it's a
right now.
ghost. I've been getting into these. Like, actually, I've been drinking these for a while. It's zero sugar, and this one is called America Pop.
That's a red,
Even
white, and
it
blue
doesn't have
can.
the A either. America, but it's like the red, white, and blue popsicles. It tastes exactly like them.
Oh,
Yeah, tastes exactly like it.
that's awesome.
I I know, right? So so what is one powerful money habit that you wish people would start practicing today?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. I mean, to be honest, it needs to be the most powerful money habit is, man, that's I like my brain is going like, what is the most
Because
important
there's
one?
probably so many. Like,
Yeah, because I'm thinking about like my kids. I have twins, right?
mm-hmm.
They're 27. And then I'm thinking about somebody my age, and then I'm thinking about my friend's grandson. Like what is I guess the biggest thing is do not live beyond your means. If you don't have the money
Yeah.
for it, do not buy it. No, you should not use a debit card whenever you swipe your card. You should never use a debit card. You should always use a credit card for the protection and all that stuff. For the protection of your bank account, do not ever use your debit card.
Okay.
Only use your credit card because your credit card is insured. And if somebody does fraud on your credit card, they'll just send you a new one and they'll credit your account. If
Okay.
if there's fraud on your debit card, like when I was in Vegas, I used my debit card. I just grabbed the wrong card a couple times, and yes, now I have fraud on there. But what happens when you have fraud with a debit card? The money's already gone from the
Mm-hmm.
bank. and you have to fight with the bank to get the money back.
I've had
And
to
the
do
bank
that a few
doesn't,
times.
and the bank is going to be out the money.
Hmm.
And the bank doesn't want to be out any, not even a penny, you know? So it's very hard to get your money back. And
Right.
while this whole investigation and everything is going on, you don't have that money. If you pay with a credit card, you still have that money in your bank. So
Makes
your
sense.
bank account is not at risk. If you the problem is people are like, "Oh, well, I could afford these payments." Well, don't buy the $5,000 thing if you can't pay $5,000 for the thing.
Right.
Because when you use your credit card, like I'm talking about buying groceries, I'm talking about everything,
Hmm.
buying gas, everything. When gonna go get a 5 hour energy $3 thing at the convenience store. Actually, they're probably not $3. They're probably $5 now, right? But
Oh, they're $3 in Michigan.
okay, okay. When I moved to California, pretty much almost everything doubled. The cost of living here is double.
Oh my gosh.
The
Yeah,
house,
I do not envy you.
yeah, it's literally double. Like from living in Illinois and then living in Texas, Midwest, right? And then moving to California, California
Hmm.
is double. The car insurance is double, the rent is double, gas is double. Everything is
What
maybe it may not be
contributes to that
100%.
specifically for California? Just because everybody wants to live there, or is there something else going on?
Well, there is there's a lot of government programs here.
Okay,
A lot of government programs. So with government programs, they need to be paid for. So the only
gotcha.
way that they can be paid for
Taxes.
is by taxes. Yeah.
Oh man.
So there's a gas tax. There's to cross. So I live in the Bay Area, the San Francisco
Hmm.
Bay Area. If I want to go to my sister's house in Napa Valley, I need to cross a bridge. I don't have to, but otherwise it's going to add an hour and a half to my trip
Oh,
as opposed to 40
jeez.
minutes. So it's
Okay.
$7 to cross a bridge.
You just pay the $7 and you avoid an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, at least.
But
Because I got to go
wow.
around because but it's a delta, so there's like
Yeah.
I live right on where I live. The town that I live in is right where the delta is formed. The Sacramento and the San Joaquin
Mm.
River meet and start forming the San Francisco Delta. So it's very hard for me to not have to cross a bridge. So
I have been
almost every
told
bridge, the
that,
bridge right down the street from my house, $7. The bridge to go to my sister's house, $7. The Bay Bridge to go to San Francisco, $7. The Golden Gate Bridge, I think, is $10. But that's also
wow.
because it's a tourist thing. So,
That's yeah, that makes sense. So I've heard from several people who live out in LA that I should, because I'm in the entertainment industry. I know you are in a somewhat of a capacity. Still, I think. Um, I have a friend who was going to at one point move back to LA, and he was advised not to. And he's in the film industry, and someone in the film industry in LA told him, "Stay in Michigan. You don't want to come out here. It's a shit show." Was their words, and he's like, "Oh, I guess," because there's a budding artistic in I don't want to say industry, but movement that is budding out of Michigan right now.
interesting.
And yes, and I want to be a part of that so bad. And so which is cool is because the with how the internet has grown, like someone like me, like I was able, I'm the voice of a few video game characters now, and I wouldn't have been able to do that like 15 years ago. It would have been impossible. It would, like, I did that all from my hometown.
Well,
you
and I was
know?
just gonna say you probably would not have been able to do that in LA
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're talking about like red ocean, man. The blood is like I love the Doors, right? So there's a
Hmm.
line in there, the blood in the streets, right? It's it is a brutal market.
There's
And
so many people who still think that you have to move out to LA to make it too. And they all go freaking broke.
I mean the thing is proximity does matter,
It
right?
does.
Proximity does matter. So if somebody's like, "Hey, we need like 40 extras for this thing. Who's available at
Hmm.
noon today?" If you're available, you should go because then that might lead to the next thing, might lead to the next thing. But I
Yeah.
have a friend of mine that just recently moved from LA to Arizona, and they are blown away at how everything costs half as much.
Yeah.
They just literally
Yeah.
got a 40% raise by just moving out of
Moving.
California.
And did they ever institute that like fee or that tax for people who are moving out of California? I heard that there was like a penalty.
I don't. Oh no, I did hear about that, but I don't know how they could institute that.
Okay.
Like, how
Because
would
that
they
just
know?
seemed petty, you know?
I think it was more like a corporation thing if you're going to move your
Okay.
corporation out. Luckily my business is in Illinois.
Okay.
Like
Oh, okay.
I have a co-working
That's
space
genius.
in Illinois and I that's my address. So,
Nice. Heck yeah. So as we're getting to about time, but
well, I
as
was
we're
going to
wrapping
say
up,
as a marketer, me as a
yeah,
marketer, I've been doing marketing for like
yeah.
18 years. Um for you to get more gigs, you have to participate in social media.
Oh, sure.
Like people have
For
to
sure.
hear your voice and see your voice and then that's how they're going to hear you. Plus, I mean, way
Hmm.
way more than I do that there's like voiceover directories and that kind of thing too.
Yeah. There's cattle call websites.
Yeah, I mean, so I can tell you that I have paid people on like Fiverr to
Hmm.
to like
Oh, that's
pr
another one everybody hates.
press one for to do like the phone script, right? Press one for
Right.
this, press two for that.
Yeah.
I needed somebody to do it, and I'm like, oh, here's this lady, and she's like, yeah, just give me a script. I'll record 1 minute of stuff for this much money, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, and here's the different scripts, and
Right.
so it might be a way, but now you're selling minutes of your
Hmm.
time. So
Yeah.
how can you get around spinning dollars for time for dollars basically?
Yeah, I get that. I'm not necessarily looking for more gigs. I'm looking for quality gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, which honestly I think that's the way to go because yeah, like you said, I don't want to be trading dollars for time anymore.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. If you're trading dollars for time, you will work till the day you die.
Yeah. Well, so let me tell you, I my office
Mm-hmm.
is in my dad's 5,000 square foot building. He runs his business in about a little bit over half of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be on the 17th of this month, he's going to be 84. He goes to work every day because he has to. Because he
No
has to.
kidding.
And that's one of the things like in the financial industry, like that's one of the things like people my age, they
Mm-hmm.
might have old 401ks. It's like you need to there's Social Security is probably not I'll probably get Social Security, right? I still got like 10, 15 years before I collect on Social Security. I'll probably get it.
Mm-hmm.
My kids who are 27, they probably will not see Social Security.
Right.
So what can they do? Like, so right now, all these people that have these old 401ks, even myself.
Mm-hmm.
The annuity that I have with my financial advisor has not grown in 20 years. It's almost the same amount
Wow.
of money that I put in there. If I was to, so I'm actually switching it over to one of the products that I can sell. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that within 10 years, it will probably about 3x, 2.8 to 3x.
Okay.
So something that should have already happened. So you and I know, like the rule of 72, in 20
Mm-hmm.
years, it has not doubled. Like, no, that means that I'm getting less. I'm getting like 2%. And why is that? It's because
Right.
the financial advisors get paid from me. They
Yep.
get paid from me. Every time they make a trade, I pay them a percentage. I pay them a
Mm-hmm.
percentage everything. So part of that money that goes supposed to go to me is going to them, and the products that I sell, I don't get paid by you. I get paid
Right.
by the insurance company.
Right.
So your money that is growing in your annuity is all yours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get paid from you. That's the biggest difference between us and a financial advisor
Yeah.
is is a financial advisor gets paid from my stuff, whether it's going up or down, the financial advisor always gets paid.
Mm-hmm. I also like that we have so many options that we can shop around too. So we're not actually like trying to fit a square into a round hole all the time. You know what I mean? We're trying to
Yeah.
figure out like what people can actually use, what can benefit them, because everybody's situation is different. We're not a one size fits all anything.
Well,
But
that is one of the things about a broker is like we
yeah.
can like I find the best thing for you. I find the best
Mm-hmm.
thing for you, not the best thing for me, the best thing for you. And whether like because the insurance company is going to pay me whatever commission, whether
Yeah.
however big or however small, but I'm finding the best thing for you. If you want cash value life insurance, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting you cash value life insurance. If you want to max out the cash value, I'll design the policy to max out the cash value. And what does that do for me? For me, my commission gets really low, right? My commission gets super low. But I'm not in here to sell just to sell policies. I'm here
Right.
to help protect families. Like
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the mission.
That's
I'm part
right.
of the crusade.
That's right. So, what does living the dream look like for you right now, considering your diverse background and everything?
Man, living the dream for me is I think it's doing what I want to do,
Yeah.
moving towards where I'm going. And it's just it's a new month right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. So I just recently got baptized, like a couple of months ago, or not even 2 months ago. And so
Oh, nice.
it's me growing in faith and me connecting faith to business, and then me growing that business and
Mm-hmm.
helping because as a marketer for small businesses, I help small businesses grow, and I'm launching something for food trucks by the end of this month.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so me as like so many people like my dad,
Mm-hmm.
solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, they don't have any money for retirement. They don't save for retirement. So success for me is really helping out as many people as possible to have that, I guess, less stress when it comes to money,
Yes,
you know?
I like
And
that.
I do that with financial services. I do that in business. Like I will help
Mm-hmm.
you start, grow, launch your business, make more money, and then some of that money will put towards something to help you and your family's future and generational wealth.
Heck yeah, dude. Same. That's why I'm in this too. Like, I'm super excited. Like, I use this platform to help anybody I can because I'm surrounded by people who want to start their own business, who have this vision for what living the dream looks like to them. And I want to talk to and find as many people like that as possible, because it is possible, and that's why I started this podcast. I want to keep giving people examples of what is possible out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Hell
living the
yeah.
dream is being able to enjoy the time that you have without the
Yes.
stress. So for example, when my kids were out here, we went to the mountains. Like when
Mm-hmm.
they were here for that week, I didn't even turn on a computer. I don't even think I turned on the computer at all. And
That's very
but
freeing. I did that last weekend.
but the thing was is after they left, I'm like, I need to make up that time. Success for me is not having to make up that time.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You just enjoy the moment without the guilty feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
literally what I'm working on. That is and and like that is something that's going to be achieved now, and I want to help I want help to help other people achieve that same thing.
I love it. I love it, dude. Well, thank you for being on the podcast, Mike. Do you have anything that you needed to plug before we sign off?
Well, yeah, you know what? So people, if you are interested in AI, this I got this little thing behind me that keeps coming up that says Stormio AI. Um, but I'm going to be doing an intro to AI mini workshop. It's going to be like probably about an hour and a half is what I'm thinking. And if you go to smallbiz.org, smlbiz.org, you
Okay.
can register for that. And if you register, there's just a wait list right now. I'm doing this with a friend of mine, known as your AI business guy. So me and him, we're going to be teaching this. It is an intro to AI. So people have probably heard of ChatGPT. They might have ChatGPT, but we're going to actually show you why you should use it, how to use it, and kind of get you on a level playing field. This is kind of like before 101, right? This is your prerequisite to AI 101. This is like if you don't know anything about prompt engineering, if you don't know all the different LLMs and stuff like that, like this is the thing for you. And I use that acronym because on purpose.
Okay. Well, all right.
Because most people
Well,
don't know what an LLM is, and so you should definitely join the mini workshop. And if you can't attend, there'll be recordings for you.
okay. Well,
smlbiz.org.
nice. Yeah, I'll put the links of those in the description for the episode too.
Okay,
All right.
awesome.
So yeah, yeah. Well, thank you, dude. Like, thanks for coming on and all that stuff.
Yeah, man, it was good. I
Heck
think
yeah,
we should
dude.
do this again.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. All right, guys. That is all for us today. Thank you again, Mike. We will see you all later.
Bam. Now I got to jump on another one.
Oh, wow. I don't think I was. Oh, you were recording.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, mine did not record. Would you mind sending me the audio for that?
So it's gonna convert everything, and then yeah,
Okay.
I'll send you the audio.
Yeah. All right, cool. Because I was like,